Airframe running boards onto a 2014 Skidoo Renegade 800. First thing we got to do is take the side panels off. So we're going to need to draw a line. You're going to leave 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch gap, or 3/4 of an inch of material on the lip here. Basically what it ends up being is pretty much right at all these holes. I'm going to draw a straight line across. We don't cut any of this. This all gets left in place, and we'll end up cutting a bunch of stuff up here in the front after. But we're going to draw a straight line across now. In the back here it does taper a little bit, so you're not going to have that same hole to line up with, but just continue on. It's very important. The suspension bracket is right here. We do not cut this. So what I always do is I always cut like way out of the way of it, so that after I'll trim it where it needs to be. But just as a reminder, okay, so here's your cut line. Disregard that little piece off to the side there. So a straight line all the way back. Here you're going to cut out because here's a suspension bracket. You can cut across there, back, and we'll show you exactly in the front. Okay, you can do this with a die grinder. I like a air saw. Air saw works really nice. You can maneuver it into places that you can't a die grinder. But if it cuts aluminum, you can use it. It's just a matter of how difficult it's going to be. So we're going to cut. I'm going to cut around here and into here. You know, you can feel underneath and see where the stock bracing is. That's where I know where I don't want to cut. So I'm going to cut about here. Right there, you'll feel it because it'll be twice the material. Die grinder comes in really handy at this point. This outer rail is pretty thick, so I'm going to cut through it here and there, and then just faster. So pretty much we're going to cut right behind these cleats right here, and then we'll touch it up after. Next step would be to, we're going to cut across here like this. Next step is there's these two rivets right here. Don't bother trying to drill them out. They're pretty tough. I just grind the heads off of them and then punch them through. You'll be able to see where the rivet, you get the head all gone, you'll be able to see where the rivet is. Okay. This is a T15. I'm going to take this out here. Just gives us a little bit more wiggle room to make that last cut. Okay, so we're going to cut just across here to get rid of this extra flap. So we're going to clean up now. We're just going to clean this up. I'll show you when we're all done. I'll show you what it looks like. But for right now, that's what it should look like at this point. I'm just going to go back and smooth things out. After the board is off, this is what the front should look like. Similar, you know, as long as all your bracing is still in place. I like to leave a little bit extra here because we can pop an extra couple rivets in. But that's what it should look like. Then I've gone back and I've just kind of cleaned everything up. We're going to do our final cut here at the suspension bracket. I'm doing it from underneath because I can see it a whole lot better. These two rear rivets, they do attach the tunnel, the stock tunnel, to the suspension bracket. They're extremely tough to get out. I ground them down and eventually drilled them out, ground them flush on the top and the bottom, and drilled them out. It will be your biggest task on this whole project, I believe. Okay, so you got a powder coated tunnel, paint marker, Elmer's painter's marker. I don't know how long it lasts, but it does wonders to finish off this edge here. So it's a detail. You don't have to do it. I like to do it just because you don't see that raw edge.
And begin.
Okay, I'm clamping it into place. This is basically just a dry fit. The whole board slides forward, hits up against this brace right here. So it's tucked up against there. At that point, it's down and in, so it's all the way where it needs to be. It's sitting flush along the bottom here. Now that we got this, we're going to, since there's no holes in this machine, we're going to end up popping 2 holes right there for that. We're going to bolt the back on first, then we're going to work on the front. At this time, you also want to kind of look at your job that you did up front. Is there anything hanging off that maybe you don't need? I see that this piece here, once this gets riveted up like that, I'm probably going to trim some more of that off. Just doesn't need to be there. It's better to take a little off and trim later. Board's clamped in place. Make sure you get the rear clamped so that the board is up against the tunnel and it's all the way down. So we're clamped here, clamped in, there, in, and down. Now you know this is in the right spot. We can drill our holes. I drilled 1/4 inch holes. We got 1/4 20s. So flat washer on the outside, flat washer and nylon lock nut on the back side. Alright, all the clamps are still in place. The back is now tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this one rivet in right here on the bottom. .3/16 drill bit. So we've clamped what you left here of the original bracket from the sled. It's all here. What we left, we've clamped now to the board. We're just going to drill some 3/16 holes. So this is what these look like. We got 1, 2, 3. I put one up here. Now I've made silver marks. There's one here, one there. I'm going to pop 2 in here, one in this very corner. Right Skinz wants a rivet every 2 inches along the bottom. So from this corner one, there's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way down until you get to the end. We're going to clamp up against the tunnel and down. And drill out we're going to do that all the way down. I'm going to pop a couple in, move the clamps, pop a couple in, move the clamps. Every 2 inches all the way down. Okay, we're going to install the traction screws along the outer rail. There's enough to do 10 on each side. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then one in the back here, 10. You're going to want to center punch the rail so that you don't mess up the powder coat when you go to drill. Take the smaller drill bit that's provided in the kit, drill them all out, and then come back with a larger one. Take the larger drill bit provided and drill out all the holes that you started. Okay, 1/4-inch driver, install the studs.
Again.
Take an 1/8-inch drill bit and lay out your cleats how you want them. I got one up here on this particular model board. It allows for one up here. I got two, and then one on all the rest going back. Take an 1/8-inch drill bit. And an 1/8-inch rivet. And then proceed with the other 3 holes on each clip. This is where a pneumatic rivet gun will come in extremely handy.